Huh? Guys? Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm in the basement. But I need to tell you guys a super scary story. Well, it's not scary. I'm probably building this up too much. I slept through an earthquake. Yeah, let that soak in a little bit. Let that just ooze over you for just a second. I slept through an earthquake. Now, I know what you're probably saying. Juice, how could you sleep through an earthquake? Those things are crazy powerful. How could you possibly sleep through one? Even if you're the most heavy sleeper on the planet. If it's a strong enough earthquake, you're not going to sleep through it. But that's where they get you. They throw that key word in there. If it's the strongest earthquake. The earthquake that I slept through was, I don't even think registered on the Richter scale. If it was at the very bottom. It was just a little, probably even more, not even really of an earthquake. It was probably more of an aftershock. Is probably what I experienced. But here's the full story. So it's probably been, it's probably been a decade or more. Probably more. Probably like close to 12 or 13 years it's been. But we lived in a house in a little town in Ohio called Greenville. And the night before, I'm pretty sure the night before, I was a little kid, so I went to bed at like 9 o'clock or something. And when I woke up the next morning, my mom told me that there was like a little baby earthquake or something, like maybe like an aftershock or something, and that like early that morning. And so I was like, what? And at this point I'm thinking like a massive earthquake, and I didn't think, because I'm just a little kid. When you say earthquake, you're going to think something like crazy. Your imagination's going to run wild and stuff. So I'm thinking like, was everything okay? Like we had an earthquake? And then she's like, no, it's just this little tiny little baby aftershock or something. It wasn't even that crazy or anything. And I'm like, I just slept through an earthquake. Like that's a crazy story to tell, and now I get to tell it to you guys, because it's just, like who can say in their life that they slept through an earthquake? Even if it's like, you don't even have to mention that it's just like this little aftershock or something, or it's like a little tiny baby earthquake. Like I slept through an earthquake. I can say that because it's true. It's not a lie. It's facts. It's big facts. Even if an aftershock still counts because it shook the earth. The earth quaked, so it's an earthquake. It still falls under that umbrella. So I mean, nobody really has to know how big it was. I mean, nobody really has to go that in depth. I could just say, hey, I slept through a 7.0. Nobody really has to know the difference. You know what I'm saying? You get me? You catch my drift? Are we on the same page here? Big brain? Huh? We on the same page? I think we're on the same page. So just know that if you ever want to tell anybody a cool story, just leave out those small, minute little details, and they'll believe you every single time. Wise words from a wise juice.